Hello, everyone. Zeta Math here with another puzzle of the week for you. This week, I'm happy to bring you something special from Pulverizing Pancake. So, one thing I really enjoy is when classic Sudoku techniques show up in variant Sudoku puzzles. And this week's puzzle by Pulverizing Pancake really takes that to the next level. This week's puzzle showcases a classic technique that's a newer technique discovered by Shy, known as the firework technique. Now, I'll admit going into this, I had only a really shaky understanding of what a firework is. However, you'll see it explained pretty clearly, I think, in the stream. I really encourage you to give this a look if you want to see what some of the more advanced classic Sudoku techniques look like and what they can look like in just an expertly crafted puzzle by Pulverizing Pancake. One of the best I've seen on the channel. Really loved this puzzle. Great job. Really enjoy watching it. Also, if you didn't know, I stream these kinds of puzzles live every week, 2 days a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays. So I hope you'll come by and chat and join us. You can see chat helps me out a great deal through this puzzle. I could never have made it through this puzzle without chat's help. So if you want to come participate in all of that merriment, by all means, come join in for all of the Sudoku and silliness. I also want to say I really appreciate all of our patrons who help make all of the various content I make possible. At this point, basically between the Sudoku channel and the math channel, which, by the way, if you didn't know, I have a math channel, link below, have basically become my husband's full-time job to sort of wrangle all of this for you. So if you really enjoy the content and you have the extra money and you want to help support a little bit, we really appreciate it, and we really appreciate all of you who already have done that. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you all around. Have a great day. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. Everyone is sharing their ages in the chat, so feel free to join in if you want, or not if you prefer not to. I do really enjoy the really wide span of age groups that we have represented, because we have a lot of the newer setters who are in their teens, and then we have a lot of older setters as well. So we have a pretty wide spread. Alrighty, so let's have a look at this puzzle by the only Pulverizing Pancake. Naverio says this puzzle broke him, which is only slightly frightening. But we will but we will do it anyway. Apparently Naverio bifurcated it. That is oh boy, we're going to have fun. Okay. So this puzzle has two mechanics. One of them are killer cages. So these are killer cages. The thing about a killer cage is that digits can't repeat. So all this is really saying is that this digit is not the same as that digit, and this digit is not the same as that digit. And sometimes, occasionally, a killer cage will have a little number in the top. And when it gives you the little number, it's telling you the sum of the digits. So these digits all sum to 24. And then these green lines are whisper lines, which mean that digits that are along the whisper line have to be at least at least 5 apart. And so, for example, this digit needs to be a digit that is at least 5 away from 4. I will leave a bit of time for you to figure out what digit is at least 5 away from 4. But for example, you could fill in something like 7, 1, 8, 8, 2, or whatever, etc., etc. Let's make sure every pair of adjacent digits have to be at least 5 apart. Good night, Naverio. Hopefully this is not a, hopefully the trauma isn't too bad. All right. Hopefully it won't be too bad for us either. Okay, so this is a gimme. Oh, but we should have put a bet cell, and we should not make this the bet cell. That is my suggestion. Let's make the bet cell be here. How about that? Don't younger people sleep more than older people? I think I think you gradually sleep less as you age. I think that's true. I don't know. I should let the medical researcher say, but I think that's how it works. I feel like 9 is the smart bet based on what we're about to say, but you can bet whatever you want. Uh, but we are going to start our coloring here. So I'm going to color all the digits that are 4 and lower in blue and all the digits that are 6 or higher in orange. And so the key thing about a German Whispers line is because I know that this is at least 5 away from a number that's 4 or lower, I know that this digit's high. And then whatever this digit is, it's 6 or higher. So that means these two digits have to be 4 or lower. And so the key thing, if you've not seen German Whispers puzzles before, is that they will alternate between digits that are digits that are 6 or higher and digits that are 4 or lower. So that's a 9, and these are from 1, 2, and 3. So this is a 3-cell 18 cage without a 9. The most a 3-cell 18 cage without a 9 could add to is 876. So this 18 cage adds to at most 21. I'm not sure that knowing that this cage adds to at most 21 is helpful. What's the lowest digit that could possibly be in here? So 8 and 7 is 15. So no digit in here is less than 3. That does not seem very helpful as these things go. Is the 18 cage set? Uh, yeah, it needs at least 2 highs. That's what I was thinking, but I don't think it's fixed. So I was trying to see if this digit looking at the 24 cage is interesting, but who knows? Okay, I'm gonna color this whole line, this whole zigzag line, without knowing what the parity is. So I'm gonna try and color everyone because I want to know what's going on with these 9 cages. So I'm gonna color every other cell in this yellow, and then the others purple. Uh, so what's going on here is that error in box 3. Box 3 and 7 miscolored. Oh, yes. Okay. These cells I swapped. And to these cells I swapped. So this is purple and then yellow. Thank you. This is purple and then yellow. I did not alternate well, we'll say. Okay. So these are sorry, these. Okay, so uh the 9 cages are very interesting. And so 9 is not quite big enough that I can color the other side. But the thing I wanted to see was I wanted to see if these two were the same or different. And I figured while I was seeing if these two were the same or different, I would go ahead and color the rest of it. So these two are the same, for whatever it's worth. But yeah, they could be like, this could be a 4 with that being a 5. I think that would be fine, for example. So I don't think I know that this is purple. Um, Someone in chat is pointing out that the 6, I know 6 isn't in one of these cells in this box. I know it's not there. So yeah, it's 5 or purple. But that seems like the kind of the pencil marking that something is 5 or purple is the way that madness lies. So I would prefer, if possible, to avoid doing that. At least one of them is purple. That's certainly true. One of these two cells is purple. I will give you that. That is a good thing to say. Gray purple coloring. Uh, 4 can be placed in box 7. Oh, in box 7, right? Okay, so Ah, that's a good point. Okay, so 4 in box 7 has to go exactly here. So the reason for this is, oh, or could it go there? Okay, so let's figure it out. I think it's two places. 4 can't go any of these places. If 4 was here, that wouldn't work because it would place a 9 here. If 4 was here, it would place two nines there, so that's even more wrong. If 4 was here, it would place a 9 there, so that's not going to work. So the 4 is in one of these two places. Of course, if this is a 4, it forces these to both be 9, which is interesting. Uh, but I don't quite know yet exactly what I think is going on with that. I mean, I don't really, to be honest, think I have any idea what's going on in this puzzle at all, as of yet. But it's in box 4. So Tom has an interesting point, which is that these are the three good purples. So in other words, these are not 4 or 6. Because none of these could be 4 or 6. And so these are either a 7, 8, 9 triple, or they are a 1, 2, 3 triple. It's very interesting. And yeah, the same thing applies here. What do I do with that? Oops. Sorry, I accidentally hit a button and it full screen. So apologies if that destroyed the world briefly. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Mario asks if there's an interaction among boxes 1, row 2, and column 2 in terms of fives. That's actually an interesting that's a very interesting question, is to look at uh the 5 here. So where is the 5 in this column? Well, the key thing is you can never put a 5 on a whisper line. So there's a 5 in one of these places in the column. And there is a similar situation where there is a 5 in one of these places in the rows. And so I think the upshot of Mario's point is that one of these two cells is always a 5, or both. They could both be 5s. Uh, Unfortunately, that does not immediately clearly get me things, I don't think. Uh, as much as I would like it to. Uh, uh, so let's see. Does it do anything if this is purple or if this is yellow? I do really like that 5 idea. I feel like something like that is the thing that this pattern most suggests to me. Uh, yeah, if it's yellow, then this is purple, and I've got all the purples in this row and all the purples in this column. And I actually know these two are different, although who knows what I'm supposed to do with the fact that these two are different. I mean, it tells me this isn't a 4 or a 6, I suppose. Uh, yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's the point. These triples are the same digits. So these are the same digits, but these two aren't the same digit. Uh, so is there some way or some cell that somehow sees, let's see, so this is not the same digit as that. So where does this go in the box? This goes here or here in the box. Uh, okay, so one of these three is a 7 or a 3. Let's just imagine one of these three is a 7 and one of these three is a 7. Is there any restriction on which of them it is that is a 7? Uh, uh, hey, Alan, welcome. Glad that your father convinced you to join us. Hopefully, you have fun. Um, effect on box 5. Where do row 5, column 2, and row 2, column 5 uh, go in box 5? Let's see, well, if these were the same, and these two could be the same, I think. At least in theory, I think these two could be the same, in which case they would both go here, for example. Uh, which is unfortunate. Uh, trying to make sense. Can I do anything with Andrew's observation that one of these two cells is purple? Uh, seems like a stretch, but I can try. Uh, I'm thinking about like this 18 cage. I know needs two highs somewhere, but they could both be there. For example, I don't know. Uh, yeah, I mean, if this is purple, it's interesting, but I don't. I mean, but it doesn't even do anything that I can see. Um, oh, I guess if this is purple, do I know that? Maybe I don't. I was about to say if this is purple, I think it has to be a 4 or a 6, but I don't think I know that because I don't think I know how these purples are related to those purples. Uh, I don't know what Silvester is. So if I'm supposed to interpret something out of the title, I am going to be very lost. Uh, yeah, so there is a 6 up here somewhere. Silvester is a cat. Oh, so this is the cat, and that's the cat again, but it's not quite the same cat. Uh, but it's a similar cat. Uh, I mean, it feels almost ridiculous to say, but there's a 6 in one of these three cells. Uh, The fact that this 9 sees the entire 18 cage really reads to me as important, but I can't figure out anything to do with it. But other than that, it's very, let's see. Nicholas says this can't be a 4 or a 6. Let's see. If this is a 6, this would be a 1. I don't see why this being a 1 is immediately bad. $876 doesn't add to 18, Nicholas. 876 adds to 21. If this were a 21 cage, I would definitely know what to do with it. Uh, uh, let's see. Martin says either row 7, column 2, or row 2, column 7 is a 4 or 6. Otherwise, two different purples get forced into row 1, column 1. Oh, this is a fireworks thing. Okay. I'm glad I once watched a video with Shai explaining what a firework is. Uh, Not like I remember what a firework is. Let's not go that far. But these can't be 4 or 6. Uh, oh, that's not row 7. This is row 7. Got it. Okay. Let's try again. Row 7, column 2, row 2, column 7. So the claim is one of these has to be a 4 or 6. So if it's not a 4 or 6, then what happens is then these are a, say, 7, 8, 9 triple. That's a 7, 8, 9 triple. Basically, if neither of those is a 4 or 6, then these 3 are the same as these 3, and we ask ourselves, where did those 3 cells go in this box? They can't go any of those places. And so now suddenly these 3 cells are, excuse me, these 3 cells are here. But now I have to somehow understand how these cells play with that. But that's definitely the right thing to think about. So we have to understand exactly how the world falls apart if neither this cell nor this cell is a 4 or 6. And so the answer is if neither of these two cells is a 4 or a 6, it forces these to be the same as these, which are in turn the same as these. And so then we've got to figure out, okay, so where does everything get jammed up in this box? Oh, okay. Tallcat has a way to phrase this, which I think is going to work nicely for me, which is where do the 3 purples here go in row 1? So they go in 3 of these 4 cells. So 3 of these 4 cells are purple. And by symmetry, 3 of these 4 cells are purple. Now, if all 3 of these cells were purple, then that would make it impossible for me to get my 3 purples in these 4 cells. And so that means not all 3 of these are purple, which means this cell's always purple and this cell's always purple. Okay, I like that way of explaining it. I understand that way of explaining it, per Tallcat. Do you feel I did your point adequate justice, Tallcat? So now we need Now I think the conclusion is we're now going to need this to be purple. Because now, remember, now we still need to get... and I guess it should be noted, this is definitely one of these three. It's definitely not 4 or 6. And that's definitely not 4 or 6. I mean, this one I can visibly see is not 4 or 6, but whatever. So now I need 2 purples in there out of these 3, and I need 2 of these 3 in here. That's never going to happen if I don't make this cell purple. Because if this cell isn't purple, in order to make that happen, I'm going to need 4. So this is always one of those purples. There are 4 purple values, but these are not these are not 4, 6. So these are like the good purples. So I could give them like a flash of some sort, like a gray flash here to say these are purples I know are not 4 or 6. So all of these are purples I know are not 4, 6. So these are like, it's a little weird to mark purples I know aren't 4, 6, but these are purples I know aren't 4, 6. And so, and that's the point. One of these two is a purple gray. One of these two is a purple gray. So this line needs to have a 4 or 6 on it. Because the only purple that could the only purple that's not forced into these cells is the purple 4 or 6. So this whisper line has a 4 or a 6 on it and a 1 or a 9 on it. So it is either 6 with a 1 here or 4 with a 9 in one of the other places. Those are the only possibilities for this whisper line because the grays, via the magic of Tall Cat's point, are the other grays are scattered across here. Okay. So I guess I could color these all with a gray flash if I wanted to. I don't know that that is the thing I want in my life. These two I know are different, although it doesn't matter at all because I know they're not 4. One of these is purple gray. These is purple gray. Aha! Here's another point. The purple that is a 4, 6 is on this line, so it's not here. So the last purple in this box is over here, and the last purple in this box is over here. So this cell is, I regret to say, 5 or yellow. Oh, I don't want to color that. Don't make me color 5 or yellow. But these two cells can't be purple. That is the further corollary, whatever, of Tall Cat's point, is these are not purple. Does that help at all? Well, if these were... Do I want these both to be yellow? Let's see. Am I supposed to now think about, like, these 3 cells in the first row? I mean, obviously 2 of these 3 cells are these 2 cells. I don't need any fancy Sudoku techniques to see that. Yes, we know the 3 corners are different. So the 3 corners are the 3 different flavors of 789 or 123. Yeah, we can color 5s in green when we know something about 5s. So yeah, so there's another purple gray here. There's another purple gray here. The last purple gray is on here. So I guess the thing that I'm being encouraged to do is to color all of these cells yellow or green. Uh, because I know all of these cells are either purple or sorry, or either yellow or 5. Uh, let's see. Row 3, column 3 says the commenter formerly known as Barbie. Can't be 4 because of box 7. If this were a 4, it would make that a 9, but it would also make this a 4 and that a 9. That's not going to work. Okay, great. Very nice. Okay, so this is definitively a 4 or a 6. And then this is a 1 or a 9. Very, very cool. Okay. Yeah, and so this is that purple. So now we know where the purple is. So yeah, so this is the purple. This is the bad purple. We'll make it purple black uh, to indicate it is not purple gray. Uh, and so that's all the purples for this row. And all the purples for this column. So now we get some more cells that I can color yellow-green, much to my chagrin. Let's see. So now, so in particular, these are not 4 or 6. These are the gray ones. These are gray. Yes, this is yellow. That's a good point. Okay. And once I know that, then yeah, these are the purple grays. I don't know, for whatever reason, this was the pattern my brain wanted the purple grays to be in, as this sort of spread pattern. Yeah, so we're back to the point that I think was the first point I really liked that someone in chat made, which is that I think Mario made this point. One of these 3 cells is 5. One of these 3 cells is 5. So that means at least one of these 2 is a 5. In fact, we now know exactly one of these 2 is a 5, because if they were both 5, it would become impossible to put 5 in this box. So exactly one of those 2 is a 5 for whatever imaginable good that gets us. This cell isn't a 1-9 anymore. For whatever that gets us. So that actually does tell us a little something. So this has to be the yellow 2-8, right? This can't be anything other than the yellow 2-8. Because the yellow 3-7, no, sorry, nope, that's not true. Don't listen to me. The purple 1-9, I have no idea where the purple 1-9 is. I only know where the yellow 1-9 is. Don't listen to me. Yes, purple gray is by definition not a 4. So thank you, Andrew. So therefore we can place the 4. Good point. That was our whole agenda item there. So one of these 2 is a 4. Oops. Because I can't put a 4 in the 9 cage. It would put a 5 on a line. So is that our digit dance? Well, technically we got a digit over here, but this we can digit dance for. As they say. I'll do it. Haha. This is a very cool puzzle. I like this one a lot. Okay. So now where is 4 in box 6? So 4 in box 6, as Garion points out, is now over here. It can't repeat in the 24 cage. It can't go in the 9 cage. which means there's a 4 over here, except it's not gray, and it can't go there. So that places this 4. Let's see. So now I have to ask myself where 4 goes in this row. It doesn't go there, or there, or there. It's not gray. It doesn't go there by Sudoku. So 4 in this row is in one of these 2 cells. However, we can do the same trick. Where does 4 go in this column? Well, 4 in this column, it's not gray. It doesn't go here by Sudoku. It can't go there or there. It can't go there by Sudoku. So one of these 2 is 4. And so now we got that whole pattern that we were hoping for, which is that one of these 2 is 4 and one of these 2 is 4. But that means that this cell has to be 4. Boop. And so this is a 9. And we can move on a bit. So that helps a lot. So let's go to colors and let's redo yellow as orange. And let's redo purple as blue, just so that we can keep up our thing. So 4s are blue, by the way. So all of this is awesome. Let's see what we can do now. So these are, so I'm going to undo the gray coloring, I think, as soon as I mark all of the grays as 1, 2, 3. And so because all the grays are 1, 2, 3, that's the only thing that being gray means. I'm going to get rid of the gray coloring just to make my life a little bit easier. Now, so those are 1, 2, 3. These are 6, 7, 8, I guess. This can't be a 6, so this is a 7 or an 8. This is a 7 or an 8. These are from 6, 7, 8. So one of these 2 is a 6, so one of these 2 is a 1. So that's not a 1, for whatever that is worth. We do need a 9 in this box somewhere, but I don't know where yet. Okay, I do now know, chat, I know, was very, very excited to get this very, very much earlier, but we now finally know that these 2 cells are blue, because now this can't be a 4 anymore, so it can't be putting a 5 on the opposite side. So these are 1, 2, 3. So that means these 2 cells are orange or green. They're either 5 or high, just because I have all the lows in the row. Do I have a similar thing in the column? I do. I have all those here. So these are all orange or green. Just for the column. Let's see. See, I'm being asked where 6 goes in row 2. That's probably a good question. Not there, not there, not there. So 6 in row 2. Not here either because of the pencil marks. Beautiful. Okay. So that's a 6. So it's not green anymore. Gorgeous. Okay, excellent catch to more crabs. So one of these 2 is 5. So neither of these 2 is a 5. So this is a 5 by our previous 5 logic. Bouncing through this box. Basically, remember, we proved that these were not both 5, but one of them was a 5. As soon as this was identified to be not a 5, this had to be a 5. But the way that happened is by bouncing through this box, if you wanted to re-examine it for yourself. Okay. So there are no 1, 2, 3s in the 24 cage. Oh, except possibly there. So these four digits sum to at least 4, 5, 6, 7, right? What is 4, 5, 6, 7? 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 and 5 is 9. 6 and 7 is 13. So these sum to at least 22. Because these are all four of these cells are Sudoku'd out of being 1, 2, 3. So this cell's always a 1 or a 2, is the point. Now, this cell we said already can't be a 1, because remember, one of these two cells is a 6. Wait, no, sorry. Darn it, this cell could be a 1. It couldn't be a 3. That was the thing we proved. But yeah, sadly, this cell we don't know is not a 1 yet, I don't think, if I remember what I did before. Uh, but it's blue, so I'll take blue. Da-dee-dee, da-dee-da. So yeah, if these two cells are the same, they're the same as that cell, for whatever that's worth. These two I know are different. Do I want to try and subcolor these? I mean, I feel like I really want to subcolor these, but I don't know what on earth I would dream of doing with it if I subcolored these. I was right that one of these had to be a 1. Always has a 1 looking at it. Okay. How did I prove that this always has a 1 looking at it? Oh, right. Sorry. It's a whisper line, not a 9 cage. I was like, okay, yes. Yes. So I saw the 6, 7, 8 triple and understood all of that, but I somehow was thinking this was a 9 cage and not a whisper line. Right. One of these two is a 6. Whichever one is a 6 makes one of these a 1. And so this is always not 1, it's always 2. And so that means the exact contents of this cage are 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2. And of course, these I know aren't 4. These I know aren't 6. So I know one of these is a 6. Let's see. And then that's going to tell me that these aren't 2. Which is not going to tell me that these are not 7, which is my immediate brain reaction to that. So we've got all of that. Okay, and now the 6 in box 9 is now going to be forced here. Very good point, chat. Okay, and now I have 5 green-orange cells, so this cell has to be blue. Let's see, it's a 1, 2, or 3. Let's see. Okay. Well, this cage has a 5 in it. Because this cage has a 5 in it, this cell sees a 5, it's not 5. This cell is an honest high digit. It's a 7 or an 8. Honest, hardworking high digit. So that's that. Where is 9 going in this column? The only place 9 can go in this column is up top here. Good point by chat. This cage also has a 7 in it. So this is just an 8. It's just an 8. Nothing fancy about it. No highfalutin nonsense. And this being an 8, and this is gorgeous setting, tells me this isn't a 5, because if it was a 5, I'd need a second 5 in the cage, and that's not going to work. This cell's now low, because these two add to 10. One's high, the other has to be low. So we're now at the, like, so many different things are happening that we have to be super... we're not going to see all the points right away. We now have 4 honest orange cells, so this is the liar. So we have that now. One of these two is the liar for this box. This is the liar for this box now. It's just forced. It can't go anywhere else. So this is orange. This is a 7-8 pair. Let's see. So yeah, so I can probably figure out what this is. Oh, actually, yeah, we just literally know. We have a 6, an 8, and a 9. So this is a 7 and a 3. So that's a 1. Now we've got to update our pencil marks all over the place. That's not a 3. That's not a 3. We've got our 1, 2, 3 for this column. These aren't 1. Let's see. Those are a 1, 2 pair. Let's see. Oh, so these are orange because we have our lyre and the 4 blues for the column. So these are orange. They're a 7, 8, 9 pair. Sorry, 7, 8, 9 triple. So these aren't 7. So that means that this is a 5, 6, and this is a 4, 7. Now that's all the oranges and greens for the box. So these are all blue. Yeah, I guess I don't know that these aren't both 1. I might, if I really thought about it carefully, know that these aren't both 1, but I have not yet thought about it enough to decide if I believe that or not. Much to the credit of the setter, I've not yet reached to the point where I wanted to think about that. Okay. Do I know this cell isn't a 6? I don't think so. Trying to think about where does the 5 go in here and these assorted nonsenses. But I have not yet gotten there. Okay, so this is not a 6, 8, or 7. So this is a 9. I can at least go that far. This is a 6 or 8. And it's not a 6 because there's a given 6, so it's an 8. Fancy given divot. Fancy given digits. There we go. This is not a 3. These are a 5, 6 pair. Let's see. Yeah, this needs a 7. Good point. So that is the 7. It's orange. Yeah, so these are an 8 and a 5 in some order. Let's see. So yeah, the 8 sees that, the 9 sees that. None of that is immediately promising. 6 and 7 across the way. So we have an 8 and a 9 down here, as well as some other miscellaneous 1, 2, 3 sort of item. Let's see. Right. Good point. So this now can't be a 3. So once this can't be a 3, as Garion points out, this can't be a 6, which tells us this is a 6. So that's a 3. So that's not a 3. That's not a 3. That's not a 3. That gives us a 1, 2 pair in box 9, which places the 3 in box 9, means that's not a 3 either. Not a 3, which places the 3 here. Makes that a 2 and that a 3. That 2 makes that a 1 and that a 2. That 2 makes that a 1 and that a 2. Let's see. This 1 makes that a 2. These are not 2. That's not 2 either. In fact, actually, now that's forced to be 2. It doesn't have any other options. So that's not 2, and that's not 2. So that is 2. Let's see. Yeah, 7, 8 with a 1, 2. Okay. This is next to both a 2 and a 3, so it can't be an 8. Being next to a 2 and a 3 means so it can't be a 7. It has to be an 8. 7 is not 5 away from 3, a fact that comes up in Sudoku more than you would think. So this is a 7, which makes that a 2. Probably Sudoku also would have told me this was a 2 if I had paid any sort of attention to it at all, but I sort of lost track of the Sudoku theme. This is an orange cell, but it's not 6, 7, or 8, so it's a 9. So this is an orange cell that is a 7 or an 8 always, because it's not a 6 or a 9. Let's see. This is a very Sudoku-y Sudoku puzzle. It turns out that actually doing the classic to start was good preparation for what was to come. The 2 is placed here. I'm going to guess chat probably saw that this 2 was placed about 15 minutes ago. This is definitely the hardest pulverizing pancake puzzle I've done, although it might be my favorite pulverizing pancake puzzle I've done, but I really like this. Has this been on CTC? This feels like the perfect CTC puzzle. Let's see. I'm being told that something box 7. Via box 6. This 7 can't be next to a 3 anymore. So that's a 1. That's a 3. That 1 goes up there. That's a 3. That's a 1. That's a 3. That's a 1. I think chat was seeing that slightly differently than I did, but whatever. We got it all filled in. That's all that matters. Let's see. That's not a 7 anymore. Oh, this 1 looks over actually and fixes the 4 and the 1. So let's see. There's a 1, 2, 3 in this row. I need to fit a 4 in here somewhere. Let's see. Well, this isn't an 8, so this is a 7 or a 9. It's a 7 or a 9, but it's next to a 3. And fun fact that you may have heard a lot by now, 7 is not 5 away from 3, so it's a 9, and that's a 7. So let's see. Oh, we've got all our highs, so everything left in here to be found is actually, the only things left in this row are a 4 and a 5. Uh, uh, let's see. Eight goes with 3 in box 4. Good point. So 3 only goes next to 8 and 9, as Barbie points out. So this is an 8, 9, and 8. I will eventually stop calling you Barbie, but it will take a bit. Sorry about that. I will adjust. I am capable of growth. It's just slow. 1, 2. Let's see. I need a 3. Oh, well, I know where the 3 goes. The 3 in this row can only go here. So this is a 5 or a 6. Let's see. Okay, so now, as Andrew is pointing out, Andrew Clark this time. Welcome, Andrew Clark. There are a number of Andrews. I'm not sure that I have noticed you yet, but welcome. Andrew Clark points out that this orange cell sees 6, 7, 8, and 9, so it can't actually be orange. It actually is green. So that is a 5, which makes that a 6 and that a 5, which means this is honest. This is the liar for the box. Let's see. So now the liar for this box goes here. So this 5 comes down here. So that's the 6. That's the 5. So that's orange. That's green. This green looks up here and says that that's actually not green. And so now this is green. It is a 5. The 5 here looks down and says that's a 4 and that's a 6. So that's blue and orange. This had better be a 7 in orange, or the world is having problems. Let's see. These digits are a 6 and a 7. That's an 8. That being an 8 makes that a 7. That 7 gives us the 4 and the 7 down here. The 7 is high. Let's see. This 3 is next to a 7 or 8, but it can't be next to a 7 because 7 is not 5 away from 3, today's theme. So that's a 7, that's a 6, and a 7. Let's see. Oh, there's one last 5. Damn it, they're multiplying again. There we go. We have gotten the last one dealt with. There's a 6 up here. So there is a 4 here. This is an 8 now. Yes. Happy Easter egg hunting to all of you who celebrate Easter. Let's see. These 2 are orange. Let's see. That's all of the oranges for this box. So these 2 are blue. We're doing the finish coloring before you accidentally finish the puzzle without coloring, which is always the most classic of mistakes to make in a puzzle. But we have successfully colored before we finish, which is very important. Alrighty, so this is a 9 because it's not an 8. So this is the 8. So the bet cell was a 9. So actually, funnily enough, 9 was the most likely thing because you knew at least the 9 in box 8 from the beginning wasn't here, and we actually got it. There's the 9. There's the 1. There's the 4. So that was actually, I think, the most popular bet. So I think the Zeta Casino has been paying out a lot today between this and the Fistamafel puzzle. So we might have to start to lowering the payout odds to recoup some of our losses from a generous day. It's a very awesome puzzle. Very, very cool. The use of the firework thing there was very cool. Although I don't 100% claim that I could define what a firework is exactly, but I was able to logic through it with the help of Tallcat and everyone, and it was very cool the way this all worked out and the way you had to sort of like pay attention simultaneously to this row and this column. Bet sandwich sum. Yes, you must bet on the sandwich sum that will arise in row 3 in the next puzzle. That will be our way of handling it. All right, I'm going to take a real quick break, and then we'll be back. We'll be back with more puzzles, but I absolutely loved this one. I'm very happy I picked this one out of wherever on Earth I found it. I could not even begin to remember where I found it from. Yeah, Jessica, actually, funnily enough, you say you like that I take the time to pause and admire the puzzles at the end. It was actually a recommendation by stream favorite Glum Hippo, suggested, hey, why don't you talk about the structure of the puzzle afterwards? And I think that was a very good idea, and it's something I try to do. And yes, I think this would be an excellent CTC puzzle because I think Simon would actually find it fairly quickly. I think if I'd have done this on my own, I probably would never have found it. But once it was pointed out that Silvester to UK people means New Year's, and New Year's to UK people means fireworks. And fireworks is what Shai calls this pattern. And so you were supposed to, this pattern. And so that combination of things was supposed to get you there, I believe. Oh, Europe, not UK. I am being told. Yes, I would not have connected the dots, but all right. Anyway, be right back with more puzzles.